All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on YouTube. We have Stevie Fee, but I don't know if he can hear us. We can hear him though, is the thing.
Yeah.
So, but he can't hear us, and so we've been trying to work this out. That's why we're running a little bit behind. I'm Crusher Crossen, and I'm with
Wrestling Revolution Keaton.
Wrestling Revolution Keaton. How's it been going, Keaton?
Yeah, it's been going great. It's harder not having you there with the technical difficulties, but most of them have been great.
Yeah, things are going good. I just got back from the gym, doing my. The Canary Kid thinks I'm trying to get in shape for him. It's always about the Canary Kid. By the way, how did that all go on the show at the dojo? While we're waiting for Stevie to hopefully get this worked out.
Well, Nick Devil returned, and thanks to John McCann, Nick Devil took the win.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Canary Kid just kept getting beaten up until John McCann came in.
Well, there, go figure. But yeah, I called it. I called it, Keaton. I said John's going to carry the team, and it sounds like he did. I got the links to the matches. I haven't watched them yet, but I'm looking forward to checking it out, seeing how it all went. Not just that match. Was there some other good matches as well?
Yeah, well, the Samson versus Chris Mercer match was incredible. Although Chris Mercer lost the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hang on, Keaton. I was just looking at a update from Darren.
Okay.
So, the only other thing Stevie can do is have YouTube on as well to hear the audio. It'll be a little delay, but
Right.
he'll hear it that way, and then he'll, and it can be in the background so that they can at least hear it. So he'd need to have the YouTube channel, on while he comes on. That's the another way to do it in worst case scenarios like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just trying to work out these technical bugs. We're live, folks. Gotta give us a little bit of a break, right? So we can iron these things out. But so you said the rest of the matches were pretty good.
Yeah, Chris Mercer versus Samson Law was an awesome match.
Yeah.
Chris Mercer lost the World Heavyweight Championship.
So Samson Law's now the champ.
Mm-hmm.
And how did Ben do in his match against for the junior heavyweight title?
In my opinion, that was probably the best match of the night. He done a Hurricane Run off the top rope.
Ben did?
Yeah, against Stevie Fee.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Badass Ben Nelson, I'm telling you. My opinion, probably maybe the rookie of the year for NIPW. Can we say that? Did he start this last year?
Yeah, he started last year.
Yeah.
I think.
But I don't know. Does NIPW, they don't do like rookie of the year and all that kind of stuff, do they?
Well, Rookie posted a thing where you could vote for awards, but it wasn't from NIPW. It was just from Canary Kid.
Oh, the Canary Kid Awards. Okay. So yeah, but that's be cool to be on like the NIPW site, the official site. All right, can you hear us now at least, Stevie?
It's on the TV here. Canary Kid Award. So a wee bit behind.
Okay, so it's going to be a delay. So we're just going to have to deal with the delay.
No, there's not.
Yeah, I don't know why this is doing this. This is strange.
Okay, so it's going to be a delay.
If you can turn your volume on your TV down a bit, though, so it doesn't pick up, because otherwise we're getting like a feedback. So we'll have to wait for him to get that message.
2 seconds.
There, that's better. That's better. We are going to have this big delay.
Get the volume through headphones here. 2 seconds.
Oh, I see. He's going to put headphones on from the TV.
Oh, that'll be better.
And then, but yeah, so we're going to have this like big delay that we're going to have to deal with. So, but that's, what it sounds like, it's about a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
So at least we can communicate one way, shape, or form. Let's see. I while we're waiting for Stevie to get things situated, I see Darren's got a comment. He says, "The ultimate smick will sort it out. Have faith." Yeah. Yep. And so you think Ben Nelson and Crooks was like one of the best matches of the night then, in your
Yeah,
opinion?
it had it all. High flying moves and everything.
Yeah. Yep. And Ben, I think part of why Ben didn't want to come on with us Friday night, I think he wanted to make sure he got a good night's sleep for that big match of his. I was telling Ricky, he's got a big match. He's got a title match coming up here. Got to give him a break, right?
Right. I can hear you now through these earphones, so I'll not
Okay.
pick up whatever I'm speaking.
Can you hear us now? No.
But we're still a bit behind.
Yeah, we just have the delay. Let me check my channel and see if my delay is as bad as yours. Let's see, because sometimes the delay might not be as much. I'm going to see where we're at on that over here. Yeah, my delay is not too bad. Yeah, I've only got like a 5-second delay. I think you got a longer delay, Keaton. So
Yeah, get him to go to yours then.
yeah, let's have Darren send him the link to our YouTube channel, or unless he just knows how to go to it, and have him switch. I'll get rid of this echo. And that'll be a little better, because then it won't be as bad. It's only about a 5-second delay. We can deal with that a little bit easier. So do I need to give Darren a link? Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
Darren can just forward it to him.
See.
I'm gonna have Darren forward you the link. And if you go to this one, it should be.
I think that might be us working now.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, there's about a 10-second delay.
Yeah, on Keaton's channel, but it'll be about a 5-second delay on ours. So once we get him to switch.
Cool. I'll check this one again. Yeah, how's it going anyway?
So Darren sent you a link to our YouTube channel, the NWF one. Go watch it on that one, because it's not as big of a delay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I literally counted. It's 5-second delay on ours, at least. I think yours is like a 10-second delay, though. I just don't understand why his phone audio isn't coming through. That's like, doesn't make any sense. Looks like he froze on us, though. So anyways, back while we wait for that, the card then was pretty good. You liked it. One title change then, right? Crooks kept his belt.
Yes, and then Samson Law took the belt from Chris Mercer.
How was that match?
That was a good match. That was the second best match.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, now he's back again.
I've got it coming through my phone here now.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you through the phone now, yeah.
Oh, you figured it out.
I don't know. It just magically worked. So it has like
Well,
I can't see my video playing like, but it's working.
well, as long as you can see the video, if you have the YouTube channel going up there, at least you'll see the
Yeah,
video eventually, right?
at least it's working.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is better. No delay.
Yeah, is the camera working okay? Yeah,
Camera's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
yeah. It's just frozen my side now, so it has.
Well, like I said, if you have your YouTube channel going up there, at least you can see. Like when we get
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
watch along screen, you'll be able to see what we're watching, right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's good to meet you, Stevie. I've finally
Yes,
seen.
nice to meet you too.
See, I've heard a lot about you. I've seen a lot of your matches, even though I mispronounced your last name, and Ricky gave me a hard time for it. But
Is that
that's the way it
right?
is.
Oh, he's a pest, that little Ricky, so he is.
But he's talks pretty highly of you, though. He says
Yeah,
that
he's a good kid.
you've come pretty a long ways and really up and coming for this. This is your first year as well, or last year?
Yeah, yeah. The 15th. So it is 15th of January marks my first day training a year ago.
Yeah. Well, I know
Yeah.
Keaton's got a load of questions he wants to get out. So, Keaton, let's see what you got here. Let's start things up.
So, what's your first memory of pro wrestling?
Hmm. Well, I always remember whenever I was a young kid, whenever I used to go to my great grandmother's house, and my uncle, he would have had the action figures. So he would have like, so we used to always play with the figures when we were kids then. So then I had interest in it from them, really. So that would be like the first kind of real wrestling memory. Like, yeah, I was playing with my uncle's action figures. He's the same age as me, so he was.
And who were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
I was a big John Cena fan. So I
John
was like,
Cena?
yeah,
A
yeah, yeah,
a lot of people liked him, though. I mean, that's nothing
yeah.
to, you know. I know he gets a rap now, but he was
No, it's 100%. He's awesome. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, a big Undertaker fan too. Growing up, Randy Orton, CM Punk, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Loads of guys. Triple H,
all those
Shawn Michaels.
attitude era
Yeah,
guys. Yeah.
yeah, loads. Like the list goes on. You know what I mean? Ric Flair and all, and I like watching the older guys too. Like I've got a lot into the world of sports stuff now as well. Obviously with like working with those guys and stuff, going back and watching the way they do the same thing that we do today is completely different. It's so fascinating.
There's a comment here, Keaton, from your dad that he said the pop of the night involves Stevie Fee. Amazing moment. Want to
Mm.
explain what happened exactly?
Oh, you want to explain, Keaton?
Yeah, well, when you came out, it was one of the most shocking moments. I've still not got over it. To say I was shocked at that moment was an understatement. You came out
Yeah.
dressed as Edie Crooks. You fooled me a lot. I did not even think twice. And
Mhm.
when Sage Valentine gave me that code breaker, I just thought it was another part of the story. And then Edie
Yeah,
Crooks comes out, and you could probably even hear my reaction.
I know. And I've seen your reaction a few times, so I have like it was a moment.
Shocking
So it
moment in
was.
NFW.
Yeah, it was big one. Be interesting to see what happens next.
And Mighty Molly wants to know, was Stevie's the best match?
Yeah, it was a very good match. It was.
Thank you very much. It was a stacked
So
card, so it was. There was a lot of great matches on it, so there was.
You know what I like, and I told Ricky this, the production value now really is really scaled up. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks
like,
really good. It's looking cutting edge.
it looks good. It's got that gritty feel to it as well. It's underground. Feels like it's underground.
No.
It's
I mean, the set, yeah, it still has that vibe, but I mean, just
yeah,
like from the multiple camera setup and
yeah,
the
I know what you mean,
announcers and all
and
that
the
kind of
lights
stuff
and stuff as well now
and
too. Like,
lights. Yeah.
yeah, it does. It looks the part. It does definitely.
And when you talk about that, you can realize, in actually the NIPW has changed a lot. What do you think's with this new boom of NIPW just getting to another level?
A lot of the guys they're all very hungry. Like, we all want the same thing. You know what I mean? We've got that passion for what we do. We love it. We're willing to work together to build on what we've already got here and take it to another level and just build NIPW as long as we're building ourselves at the same time.
That's the key thing, is working together. It's we have fun. Ricky and I have fun going at each other with our characters, but it's part of the show.
Yeah,
The reality of it is, it's not wins and losses and title belts. It's all about putting on a great show for the fans, and
100%.
really, yeah, and that's the ultimate thing here.
Yeah,
So, as long as everybody has that mindset and understands, new guys come in, sometimes they get, they let their egos get the best of them, and they sometimes forget that. Have you ever noticed that with new people that come in?
yeah. Well, I suppose you need to have a sort of an ego in a way to kind of do well.
Yeah.
But
Well, you do.
I do know what you mean. It's something you earn, like, don't you? I
Well,
can't say
yeah.
too much, like, as well, because I'm still young, like, I'm in my rookie year, like, I've done a lot of stuff, like, but I wouldn't catch myself doing it, like.
No, but I mean, guys will tend to make the, like, let's example, maybe you lose. John McCann, for example, is on a 12-match losing streak, right?
Yeah,
But it's not about, that's what I was trying to say. It's not about the wins and losses. It's,
no,
and as long as you understand it, but some guys will get like, damn it, I'm losing again.
yeah, I
You
get you, like,
know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you mean. People don't get it. They don't see the bigger picture sometimes.
right. That's what I'm trying to get at. And,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
but
100%.
if the majority of you do get it, and I think you do,
Well, you know yourself, like, my role is to get my opponent over. That's my job as
yeah,
a babyface or a heel or whatever. That is my job, is to get my opponent over and get the match over. If he does his job, you know what I mean. We both win. So
exactly.
a lot of people don't understand that. Like,
Well, at least at first. It's one of
yeah,
those things, though, that once you start getting a little bit of experience in that, and you start to see the bigger picture, and then you get over that. And, you know, for me personally, I love, like, 5-time champion. Well, I remember losing it more than I remember winning it, because I knew I was
yeah,
putting somebody else over.
yeah.
And it's almost a sense of gratitude you have yourself.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, you should
So,
do. You should. You should look at it as an honor. You get to put a superstar over, like, make
right.
somebody a better wrestler.
Bring somebody to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, I haven't won a lot of matches lately, like, but
But you're enjoying it. You're having fun.
yeah,
You're doing what you love.
I'm building the bigger
Keaton,
picture.
Keaton, I know you still got burning questions at the on the sheet there. So what else do we got?
What's your first memory of actually doing professional wrestling, training in professional wrestling?
I remember my first night running outside to be sick, which probably happens to the majority of people that do wrestling training, especially if you do it properly. Like, uh, I just remember doing the warm up and thinking to myself, "Oh dear, oh dear, I've been for a long, long night here." Like. Uh, but I just remember taking that, doing those bumps and stuff, and really feeling it, because at the start you do feel it
Oh yeah.
big time. And I remember, like, getting up the next day. I get up quite early for work and stuff, and that was a task, to get myself out of bed. But I could just remember the one, like, instantly anyway, when you take that first bump, like, if it's for you or not. So it's just one of them things where it's like, well, this is the path I've chosen to go down, so I'm in for it now.
Oh yeah. The first bump is always unexpected. You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
But once you get, it's not, wrestling's like riding a bike. You know this. And the more you do it, the more it comes natural. And
hmm
it's like riding a bike, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
I used to, like, kind of dread going up the train, because I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going into a very tough session. Whereas I was going to know I was done up the training.
and how old were you when you started?
I was 25, so I was just about to turn 26.
So still in your 20s, still relatively young.
Yeah,
Like, think of the guys on their 30s and 40s that are getting into it late. Man, they're really feeling it, right?
yeah, I'm
compared
sure they
to
are.
compared to the younger guys. Rick, people like Canary don't understand. When you get older, your body, you will feel this 10
Oh
times
yeah, I've still
as you
been
get
quite
older.
lucky, so I have, like, I feel quite youthful still.
Like you were saying there, like, when I went to work the next day, man, I was like, what am I getting myself into here?
Yeah,
Those thoughts run through your head, right?
yeah, 100%. Limping about and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And when you, as I know, you were a wrestling fan your whole life.
Yeah.
When at what point made you think that this is what I want to do?
Well, I always kind of knew that's what I wanted to do, but it was like, I mean, you never had NIPW or anything whenever I was your age. There was nothing really over here whenever I was your age, and then whenever I got kind of old enough, I was about 18 and stuff. Still, really wasn't much, and I watched indie wrestling, but I wasn't big into the scene like over here and all. It wasn't really until see, I obviously have a child and stuff. I have a daughter and all, so kind of kind of got sidetracked. So I did from it there, and then I seen Chris Mercer because me and Chris are good friends growing up. So we were, and I seen he had started training, and I seen a few clips he had done. So that then got me interested in me getting my toe in the door like and trying to do it like, and then I actually messaged Nathan about 3 years ago. So I did. I was supposed to go up and train then, but it fell through. So it did. But then I was able to start last year. So went with it. Grabbed the bull by the horns. I haven't looked back since. I've been doing all right ever since. Like so, I have hit the ground running
And
the same.
when you started wrestling, what was the toughest thing to master?
I mean, the
Was it the
cardio was
big
always
was it the
tough.
big was it the big bumps though? Were they intimidating to you?
Not really. Like
Like
no.
more the high risk stuff?
Yeah, well, you know what it's like yourself. Once
Yeah.
you get up the top rope and all for the first time, it's a wee bit daunting. You
Yeah.
know. Uh, well, I took a military press before, like, and that was quite scary. So it was like,
Oh
looking
yeah.
down and stuff. No, the bumps weren't the worst. I don't know. The cardio was quite tough on you, like, especially whenever I had started. I hadn't been doing much training for a while, stuff like that there. So my cardio was pretty much non-existent. So building that there up was quite tough. You know.
Yeah, you'd be surprised people that have never done it how much cardio it takes. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get winded. You
Oh,
can get winded in a match pretty. That's why they
big
say
time.
people get blown up, right? When they're not
Yep, gassed
prepared.
out.
Yeah,
Yep,
gassed
I
out.
think it's more so the training because we were trained that rough and that hard. That so that if it did come to that, there it wouldn't happen in a match.
And
Keaton,
what
I
was
got
it?
some questions here. I want to just kind of get through before I get too far behind because they're rolling in. Let's see. Wrestling Insider says, "What does it feel like, Stevie, when the kids go nuts when you come out?"
Yeah, it's a cool feeling that there. So it is. You can't beat it. So it is. It's cool. It's nice. So it is to see the. It's
That's
just nice to
part
feel the support and feel the love, isn't it?
right, and that's part of it. That's part of why you want to do it is to have the interaction, to hear the
Yeah.
fans. And I'll tell you something. When I got away from it, the thing I missed the most was the fans. I
Yeah.
missed the cheers and all that. You miss that, and then I miss the
Mm-hmm.
guys. The
Yeah.
camaraderie. Those two
Oh yeah.
things,
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Even the booze as well. You gotta love the booze too. Like
Well, yeah. I mean, whether you didn't cheered or booed, but that's all the
all
same
sorts of
to
booze. Yeah.
us, right? Kind
Yeah.
of to
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
face.
Noise is noise. Like yep.
Yeah. Mighty Molly says, "How did you hear? How did you hear about the NXG/NIPW when you was it from Chris Mercer?"
Yeah, it would have been from Chris probably. Like yeah, and then I had seen some of DD Crooks as well. Then
Yeah,
because they would live quite local
I'm
to
gonna
me.
get one. I'm gonna get one more in here, Keaton,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna cut Keaton loose, give us his questions. But Scenic Spots says, and then that way we'll kind of get a little caught up. Otherwise, they'll roll through and we'll miss them.
Yeah. 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 No worries.
Scenic Spots, ring a smick. Do any of the smick mates wind you up about wrestling?
No, 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 not really. I mean, you get it with everything. Like yeah, we just constantly wind each other up, I suppose. Like so, if anybody has anything to kind of poke sort of fun at you, like, yeah, majority of the majority of it comes from work. So it does like the slaggings from
Sure.
the one main guy, like. But it's all it's all fun and games, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm quite fond of a good slagging myself.
And when you were training, what was a typical training session like for you?
Tough. So they were very tough. I used to dread them, like, you know what I mean? Because I knew how tough they were going to be for so long. Like, you know, I don't know how many months it would take me to get in the training before I actually kind of like, oh yes, you know, really looking forward to it, because it took a lot out of you, like, you know, especially working all week, training 3 times a week and stuff. You know, it was a lot. Go straight into.
Yeah, because
But
for a lot of you guys though, this is just this is a part-time hobbies kind of thing you do on the side. That's not your main thing. So you
yeah,
have a regular 9 to 5 job or whatever you're doing, and then you're on top of that, then doing this. So it's a
yeah.
lot. It takes a lot from you, and then family and everything else that you got going on. So
So yeah, it's a lot to balance.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like Mr. Miyagi, balance, right?
Yeah.
How long were you training before you had your first ever match?
Well, sure, my first match was in Portaferry, which was at the very end of March. What was it, like the 27th, 28th of March? I think I should know that date, like, so I should. But it was there, and then I started training on January 15th. Yeah, the coach actually texted me. It was the day before my birthday, which was the 3rd of February. My birthday was the 4th of February, saying that he was going to put me into a rumble for the Portaferry show. I was going to a couple of weeks training, and he was going to give me a chance in a rumble, like.
And in that rumble, that was for that being your debut match. Obviously, that rumble meant a lot to you. The damage on
Yeah,
What was it like?
100%.
What was it like growing up having like a wrestler in your family as your uncle?
Whenever I was younger, I didn't really know. So I didn't, like, because it was just one of those things. Like, I never really asked or anything. Like, you know. And then, but whenever I found out, it was quite cool, because I used to chat away to him about it and stuff, like, whenever I used to see him down, whenever he was working and stuff like that. There, you know, it was quite cool. And it would have been class if he could have been here to see a few things that have happened now, like, because I know he would have loved it. Like,
And what was your favorite thing in that match? It was a very long match, and you were the first entry there. What was your favorite thing in that match to perform?
yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose the finish was sweet, wasn't it?
Well, Keaton,
Whatever it was.
you seen it live, right? You were there for it live. What do you remember about it, Keaton?
The thing I can remember the most is you doing that drop kick on Saxon Huxley and Shreddy to
Yeah,
win the rumble.
that's right. Yeah, it was cool, like, wasn't it?
I didn't expect it either.
I know. I don't think anybody did. I'm good at that, so I am.
And so in the after you won that match, what was your emotions? Being able to after you won that, what was your emotions like? In wrestling in front of your family and your family there.
There was a lot of emotions, actually. To be honest with you, I actually felt sick. So I did. I don't know if it was maybe because I was probably gassed out, or, you know, maybe it was just a lot of things going on, like, but I felt sick.
And what's your favorite move to perform in the ring?
I do love hitting that stunner. So they always get the cool
So
pop out.
is that like your signature move then, the stunner?
Yeah, I would use that there a wee bit. I like using the Death Valley Driver too. Man, I love it doing a body slam. Don't know what it is. Just love
Yeah.
a good old fashioned body slam. So clothesline. I love that. I love hitting every move.
Now, do you
I
like
like
when you mentioned body slam, you like taking the slam or giving it or
Giving it,
both? Giving it?
but
Yeah.
either or, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
a move
nice
that
move.
a move that I really like to see you doing is the bulldog.
You like the bulldog?
Well, like the
Yeah, I think you do
classic
that well.
running bulldog, the
Yeah,
old
yeah, yeah,
fashioned
yeah.
bulldog. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, I actually have a bulldog. That's why I do it. So I do.
And
And
that's got to be
obviously,
tough to do the bulldog in that short ring though in the dojo though. You don't got all the space like you would in a bigger ring to really
That's
get a
true.
good
Like,
run at it, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, do it from the corner, like, you know. So
Yeah, from corner to corner. Yeah. Yeah.
you get a bit more room.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've had a lot of matches and have enjoyed a lot of them, seeing you wrestle. But what do you think's the best match you've ever had?
It's a tough question that though because I've learned so much more from each match, if you know what I mean. And I feel like the best match is obviously yet to come. What was I love the tables match with Crooks. Obviously, that was a great match. That actually got match of the year of NIPW. So it did.
Is that Ricky's poll voting thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's with all
Well,
the NIPW fans on the fan page, right? So they all have
yeah,
a chance to
yeah.
say, yeah.
I also loved I loved the dog collar match. So there was a good story told there, but sure it was like it really was a good story told. And it kind of played into the tables match with Crooks also. I've had a few matches with Jordan, which was they were awesome. Like too, if you'll not have seen them, like, but they were you maybe see some of them soon, like, but we kind of work quite well together, like me and Jordan Nelson. That is. Yeah, I had a cool match with a guy called Tamura, Japanese wrestler, whenever I was over in Portugal. It was That was a lot of fun. So it was. I wrestled another guy, Miguel, over there too, and we had a lot of fun out there as well. Like,
So on top of what Keaton asked you to follow up a little bit, is there any of the guys? Would you say on the NAPW roster, anyways? Or do you have a favorite you like to have a match with? Like if you know you're going to be in a match with so and so, you feel comfortable. You feel like it's going to be a good match because you're comfortable working with them.
yeah, well, that's what it says. I like to work well with Jordan Nelson. Me and him kind of gel quite well because
Yeah.
I kind of like if I was maybe 30. Say I arrived at a show with like 5 minutes till I had to get out of the curtain so I get changed, and I had to speak to Jordan, and I had 5 minutes to get changed to go out the curtain. We'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have more than enough time to sort something out and just go out there and put on a quality match.
And that's just it. When you guys are training all the time and you're learning it, it's to the point where it's like you can fit into any match generally, right? And it was
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It was like that for us too, only at a different level. Today, wrestling is much more sophisticated than it was 40 years ago. So
yeah, definitely.
our arsenal set wasn't as broad as what you guys have, but
Yeah,
it's still the same situation. You're all comfortable with each other, really, and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're gonna go against anybody, but you still always had your favorites. Like there was always people that you knew that you just had chemistry, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like most of those guys in that club, you could, a few minutes and we're ready to go.
Yeah,
We know each other that well and stuff. Like one of my last matches with Halfdan as well. That was one of my favorite matches I had too in NIPW. So a lot of those guys all train with us too.
yep,
So it's good. Like it's good to get to work with them as well and shows and see how see what they've picked up as well as that you've picked up too. Because you
yeah,
pick up different things at the same time and stuff. And then you're able to learn off them,
sure,
which is nice.
yeah.
And what are your hobbies outside of pro wrestling?
Uh, I don't know. I do a lot of wrestling, so I do like. Uh, I don't know. I like to spend time with my wee girl whenever I have her and stuff.
Well,
And spend time with my
Keaton, we're
family and
gonna
stuff.
we're gonna keep asking questions, but I'm gonna move us into our watch long screen so we can see some action here
Yeah.
of Stevie Fee in action. Let's take a look at this, and we'll just keep rolling with the questions.
And I've seen that you're on LDN. You got LDN Breakout Star of the Year. What was that like?
Yeah, that was quite a huge honor. So it was to receive that there award, like because I'm quite lucky to work over there and stuff, because it's quite a well-known brand and stuff. So yeah, it was a big honor for me.
And what's it like wrestling on LDN, just in general?
It's great, so it is. It's great fun. Like always, great staff and stuff, and a lot of great talent and all passes for LDN. It's great promotion.
And what's your favorite match you ever had in LDN?
Yeah, he says I have wrestled Jordan a lot of times over there, like, so probably a match with Jordan.
Now, when
What do
did
you want
this
to do?
match take place here, guys? That we're watching. Keaton, do you know?
I'm not sure. I can't remember the exact date. Would you know, Stevie?
I can't see it. It hasn't come up yet for me.
It's DD Crooks against yourself.
Is it the tables match?
I don't know if it's a tables
Yeah,
match.
it is.
Though. Is it the
It is the
tables
tables
match?
match.
Okay.
That was in the summer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the summer. I can't remember. The dates, like, I've lost track of all my matches,
Yeah.
so I've just been coming in thick and fast.
And how many matches have you wrestled for LDN?
I'd say 50 plus.
Yeah, that's a lot of matches.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches.
Especially for only wrestling for a year, and obviously with having 50 plus matches, I'm sure there's a lot of travelling involved in that.
Yes, buddy, there is. There's a lot of traveling, so there is. It's comes part and parcel of the business.
So we got a
So
couple questions here, Keaton, I want to get through because they're going to roll off my screen. Darren wants to know, did you ever get a chat with Dave Finley Sr.?
Yes, I see Dave. I get chatting with Dave whenever I see him. Like, yeah, but he only lives down the street from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would see him I used to see him quite often. Like, yeah.
And then here's one. When will we see the Ultimate Smick action figure?
I don't know. It's not up to me to make it. Like, you know.
Well, I think John McCann could do it for you. He seems to have the art of it. Yeah.
You know what to do, John. Make sure you make 70 of them, though.
Keaton used to have a contact to make a decent one, but can't get a hold of the guy lately. Let's see. Darren says, this is a long one that goes, Diamond Shondell was a legend. He was a doorman, and I played a fair bit of pool with him in the Carrick Buffs Club back in the day. He rarely mentioned that he was a World of Sport legend.
Yeah. He must have been quite humble about it, you know.
Yeah. And then here's a question from Castle. I don't know if I'm butchering that one, but Castle, I don't know how to pronounce this, guys. But he says, what's the deal with him and Kendo Nagasaki?
I beat him. Yeah. In Team Bag, beat him, so we did in Croydon.
And then Mighty Molly, question really for you, Stevie. He wants to know, or she, when you changed into DD Crook's gear last night, was it cold? They seemed quite snug.
They're quite tight, so they were.
So now let me get this right. So if I understand this right, you're now part of Pure Filth?
We'll see what happens. Can't give away too much, you know what I mean? Gotta keep people coming to the shows.
So I know, because Ricky was hinting to it. He says every time there's a promo that you were in the background or you were around and you were kind of around in Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Sometimes things happen, like, you know what I mean? Really, you just have to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, can't give away too much.
And when you talked about
yeah, we don't want to give away the storylines if they haven't happened yet.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it.
Yep.
And when you were talking there about having 50 plus matches on LDN Wrestling, and you were saying there that you've toured a lot. What's your favourite place you've ever toured in?
Well, like I said, the recent trip I went to Portugal there, it was crazy. So it was absolutely crazy because it was an older audience. So it was, you know, our first show was in a bar in a pub. So there was no seats, you know. You just came in, you paid in or whatever it was. You got your drinks into you, and you sat and you watched the wrestling show. Like, whenever I came out, because I was in the main event the first night. So they were all hammered. The crowd was hammered, so they were drinking the whole night. The ring was soaked in beer. It was just a crazy atmosphere. They were calling me all sorts, so they were. It was great fun. So because like when I was there, I was working as a heel,
Yeah.
so I was able to play off it and have some of the best fun I've had out there. It was
What do you
really
enjoy?
really good fun.
What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy a heel or do you enjoy being a face?
Uh, I enjoy they both have their benefits. You know what I mean? I enjoy working both. But sometimes I feel more naturally as a heel. It comes
Yeah.
easier for me.
Uh,
And then when you're in control of the match as well, you've a lot less. Like, you feel like you have less pressure on you because you're not trying to maybe remember as much stuff, and when you're in control, you're in control. Then
and I've always said it's easier to get boos than cheers as far
oh
as,
yeah,
you know, you can insult the fans. It's not hard.
no,
But um but sometimes, if those fans don't like you for whatever reason, that's just the way it goes.
And
that's it.
David Shonda- David Shondell, your uncle, was a natural doing that. You know, he was a natural of being a heel
Yeah.
in Northern Irish wrestling.
hmm
What do you think's the best thing you've done to get over as a heel?
And I don't know. I don't know. It just look mean. Just looking mean at them like they don't like that. So they don't. Sometimes it depends on whatever area I'm wrestling. Whenever I just speak, they don't like me. A few times I'm going to give kids my hat, and then whenever they go to take it, take it back in my head. Yeah, a few other wee playground tricks. Yeah, I just mess around it whenever I'm hitting. Just try to. It's more whenever I'm in the ring. I'm nasty, I'm choking and the competitor and stuff. I'm cheating and stuff. That's what builds the heat there.
Yeah.
And when you work in LDN, you can tell that you're very good at being a heel. You're also LDN picked you for that reason to be in Team Baga against Kendo Nakasaki's team with Dead Gorgeous. What was it
Yeah,
like over in LDN getting that opportunity to wrestle with Kendo Nakasaki?
it was a massive honor. Like huge, huge, huge match, and a lot of people seen it. And it was a great match. So it was like I enjoyed every second of it.
And
So
then Wrestling Insider is saying this. Being involved with older wrestlers like Dave Finlay, Marty Jones, Kendo, etc., have they mentioned the wear and tear on their bodies? How 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 you can keep your body in good shape for longer?
I can't really answer that. Like no, like I don't know. I'm assuming it's just muscle. So you're all
Well,
big, strong man.
well, honestly, I think the answer there is just staying in shape.
Yeah,
Trying to go to the gym regularly to get workouts and stuff like that. That's how you keep your body in shape. Um, and the other thing that people need, when you stop going to the gym, like I've had my spells where I've been away from the gym for a long time, and then the peop the thing that people make mistakes when they try to get in shape and go to the gym is they try to overdo it right away, and then they're just so sore and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah,
You need to ease back into the gym just like you eased out of it. And as long
yeah,
as you go in at a gradual pace again, then you're fine. But stay honestly, the advice I can give you, Stevie, is stay in shape. Don't
yeah,
give yourself the reason to have to try to go back after 4 or 5 years in the
yeah,
gym.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Hundred
stay in
percent.
shape.
Yeah, because it's always tougher to get fit again. 100%. It's easy
Absolutely.
to stay. It's easier to stay fit.
Yep.
Big time, yeah.
What's the worst injury you've ever had?
In wrestling, yeah,
Yeah, in wrestling.
yeah. I don't know. Probably have. I don't know. Nothing really major. Like I landed badly on my toe once. It gave me a bit of bother for a while. I've been quite lucky, so I've so far, touch wood. I'll not get hurt for a bit.
And if you could wrestle anyone in the world right now, who would it be?
Good question. I don't really know. It's not really something I've actually thought about an awful lot. Like, who have I not wrestled about that I'm quite interested in wrestling? I would like to have Jordan a match in NIPW just to see how that would go down.
Well, I think what Keaton maybe was referring to is anybody, like anybody in the
Anybody?
business. Yeah.
Oh, anybody? I would love to have that match with John Cena.
Yeah.
You know, or Randy Orton maybe. That'd be awesome. Yeah. CM Punk. You know, the guys kind of grew up watching.
Yeah.
You know, one of them guys, I could be awesome. Like, imagine them match with the Undertaker or something like that. Would be cool.
Or Stone Cold, Stunner versus Stunner.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Like, yeah. Always been a big fan of RVD as well. Like, you know,
Rob Van Dam.
yeah, I love ECW stuff. Like,
Yeah, ECW was cutting edge. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it was almost the pre-Attitude Era.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like,
It was better.
That was a nice spot right there.
yeah.
Speaking of ECW,
Was that the tables match on?
Yeah. Yeah, he got thrown into the table and turnbuckles and got.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Crooks that went into it. Yeah. Or was
Yeah.
that you? I can't tell.
I'm just about to watch Kirk's put me through the table here. The back suplex.
Yeah. Oh, that's the part you're seeing?
That's the part I'm seeing now. Yeah.
You're quite a ways behind us then.
Yeah. I could probably get that behind us. I can fast forward here.
Yeah.
I've been buffering and stuff, but it's working here on the phone mic, which is the main thing.
Do you remember this one, Keaton? This match?
Yeah, I remember that match very well. That was one of the best matches of the year in NAPW.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah.
Stevie Fee with a big punch to the face. Now DD Crooks with another punch.
It was such a good match watching as well. It was a pleasure to be in the crowd at that moment.
Yeah, we're having a strike off here.
And so Stevie, when you were starting in wrestling, you were early in wrestling, I'm sure you made a lot of mistakes. What mistakes have you learned from that you made before?
One of the main ones I can remember straight away was I remember having a match with this guy in England, and I was really proud of the match. I thought the match went really well. I was there for all the spots and everything. And he was like, you're a bit dull. You gotta stay on the crowd. You know, and like I wasn't working the crowd. I was almost working as if they weren't there. You know, it was like kind of ignoring them. You know, and I remember that one so well because I picked up on that and worked the crowd then. Everything started improving. I started improving then, you know, the reactions from the crowd started improving and stuff. You know, so that there I remember was a real good mistake that I made.
Yeah, Ricky and I were talking about that a few weeks ago. You got to react with the crowd. You have to acknowledge it. Otherwise, they're going to lose interest in you. Lose interest in the match and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Watching Crooks climb up the ropes like that reminds me of Eddie Sharkey's advice to me. He's like, when I used to go off the top rope, I always used to back into the corner and work my way up and go off the top, you know.
Yeah.
And Eddie's like, no. When you're going to go off the top rope, you need to present it. You need to get outside the ring. You need to walk the turnbuckles. Let the crowd know.
Yeah,
coming,
yeah. 100%.
I'll never forget that.
You heard
that is
Stevie's dead, Keaton, and you heard the enthusiasm in his voice. This shows how much these
and I notice how Crooks loves to drop those tights, the singlet, right?
Yeah.
Old Kurt Angle deal. Yeah.
That's right.
And the crowd in Portugal, as you can tell, are wild. What's some of the worst things they've said to you?
I couldn't say them on this podcast, but seriously, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah. You suck. I think that's what maybe be able to slide.
Well, didn't Canary get that chant going? Bingchi, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, I didn't. I frankly didn't get that chant. Like, I got a few. It's cold in here, isn't there? You know, I got heckled a few times. It was great fun. I added up.
And
Stevie Fee has
have you achieved
so
everything you want to achieve in wrestling? Like, are you happy where you are, or is there more to achieve for you?
No, I haven't even
Tigers
achieved.
is really
I
gonna
haven't achieved anything I wanted to yet, mate. This is just a start for Stevie Fee.
So then, what would be your long-term goals in pro wrestling?
To get to the very top, kid.
Why Stevie Fee is setting up the table? Stevie Kirk is trying to crawl outside
You
the ring.
know.
So, like, I've always asked the question since you guys are in Ireland or Northern Ireland. Do you have the desire to want to get outside the island? Do you want to not just Europe, but
Yeah.
maybe say,
100%.
Japan,
Yeah.
North America?
Want to cover all those kind of places, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
North America, Japan, more of Europe.
yeah.
Yeah, everywhere, mate. Everywhere.
And when you were in this match, what was it like going through the tables for the first time?
I actually went through the tables a few times before this match. We were at elsewhere. First time I went through a table, Ken wrestles and Ben had suplexed me through it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they had, sorry, Ken Cutler. It was Ken wrestles back then. And Ben Nelson, they had put me through the table with a double suplex. That was alright, like, it was just going through a table, like, you know what I mean?
I think right now here is the big spot here where Stevie Fee gets. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's. I thought this was the moment where he's getting the thumbtacks.
Yeah.
Oh, has that happened in this match? The thumbtacks?
Yeah, he's crazy that day he wants.
And how'd that come around? That he actually wanted to use thumbtacks.
He actually wanted to use fire.
Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to use fire, but we couldn't do it, like. I don't think we were allowed to, so
So those
he
are
came
the
up with a
plastic
thumbtack.
thumbtacks that actually are plastic, right? With the thumbtack part, not just the metal ones that are flat, but they actually looks like they're the plastic ones.
I never even looked at them. I think they're just the metal ones, like.
Because it looks like they were. Well, maybe they were.
But he felt them anyway, like.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Crazy. Oh, there it is. There, I just seen it.
Stevie Fee gets the win.
Yeah,
Well done, Stevie.
that was a good moment that there, so it was. Crazy spot.
And before you go into a match, what would be your rituals?
Don't really have any of it. So I don't. I kind of just one up. Just one up, get ready. No crazy rituals from Fee.
And how did it come around that you were going to be wrestling with Ken Shaki? How did you get that idea? How did it come around?
I was just kind of asked about it, and of course he was going to say yes. We wouldn't. It was a good opportunity. It was mainly, we would have mainly been because of Ben and Jordan, because they were handpicked to be his tag team partners. And they needed good heels to work them. So yeah, it's just how it was just right place, right time kind of thing.
And everyone knows you as the Ultimate Smick. That's one of the biggest names for you. It's a word used a lot in Northern Ireland. How'd you come up with the name the Ultimate Smick?
It wasn't even me that came up with it. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Mercer that threw it out there. So it was backstage before the show. I think it was Johnny. It might have been Joe. I'm not 100% sure, but they were doing the announcing for it, and they were like, "Oh, what do you want to be announced as?" Like, I was just like, just the winner of the Diamond Chandel Cup, Stevie Fee, and then Chris threw out the Ultimate Smick. And I just grabbed it, both hands and run with it because I thought it was pretty cool.
And speaking of Damon Chandel, right here's me interviewing the Damon Chandel.
Yeah, I've seen that, so I have. Yeah, are you sticking it on?
Yeah,
it's on the interview right now with him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
How long ago did this interview take place?
This was last year.
Last year?
Wasn't even last year, it was 2023 actually.
I was going to say it was a wee while back.
Yeah, maybe even 2022.
Yeah, I think it was about 4 years ago.
2 years ago.
a lot more money because they had to keep it open. Good guy.
He told me some great stories of wrestling back in the day with World of Sport.
Yeah, there he is. There.
Just Battle Royal. My Battle Royal.
He didn't even know he had his own battle royale. Do you remember before when Nick Campbell made it? This one.
That's right. There's a
He
few
had no clue
people.
about it.
There's a few people that had it. I think.
Is that the one you sent me?
Pretty sure Rocky Star was the first person to win it.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
So wasn't Andre the Giant the first one to have a battle royal named after him? I would
I
think.
think so.
Yeah.
Could have been, yeah.
I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get a chance to see? Did you ever get a chance to see Andre at all? I don't know if you have, Keaton, but
No, never did.
YouTube I have.
I've seen it. I have seen him like wrestling on.
I seen him in
TV and
person.
stuff,
I was at a
Yeah.
show in the AWA where it was Hogan and Andre against the whole Heenan family, and I remember when Andre came out, I was only 12, and Hogan went by and Andre went by and I touched his shoulder. You know, I slapped it. And
Yeah.
the thing I remember, his skin was just tough, like
Yeah.
just tough skin. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always remember that with Andre.
Yeah. He's a
Big
big
guy
boy,
too.
Big
God, he's
boy,
a big guy.
yeah.
And right here, this is a very interesting match. Two Damon Chandel Cup winners.
Is that
Rocky
with
Star and
Rocky?
Stevie Fee.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match with Rocky Stars. So did, yeah. Quite fun.
And what'd you like about that match? What made you enjoy it?
Hey, just working with Rocky and stuff, you know, he was just really nice to work with and stuff. You know, he's a nice guy. It always makes things easier. You know, and we just worked well together. So we did. You know, I thought the match was quite smooth and stuff, and picked up a lot of things from working with him because he's been at it for a long time himself. You know.
Sure.
You know, so I was able to actually a few wee things he done to me in that match, or some of my go-to things that I use in heat. You know, I like to pick up stuff from people that wrestle. You know?
And
Yeah, I
when
mean,
you-
honestly, if you think about it, you know, everything's pretty much been done. So it's like you're gonna obviously be influenced by something to get
Yeah.
your own moves. So
here's a question I forgot to go by. So when when you started saying that you wanted to do pro wrestling, did Dennis Damon Chandel always permit with you doing it, even though he knew the kind of experiences he's been through? Was he always happy with you doing pro wrestling?
Alright, because I did speak to him before, so I did about it like as well, and he was well chuffed about it. Like he actually says to me, because I have my jewelry and stuff, and he was called Diamond Chandel because he was known for wearing a lot of jewelry and stuff. So I got the diamond name. He says to me, "You need to get rings." So he did. But there's still no rings yet, like, so maybe get a few rings for the future here.
And this here's your debut match, winning the
and where was
Damon
this
Chandel
at?
Memorial
Where
Cup.
was this at, Keith? This isn't at the dojo. Where is this one at?
This is at Portaferry.
Portaferry.
Portaferry. Okay.
It was NXT's biggest show ever. I'm pretty sure.
If I remember right, Nathan says it's kind of a once a year thing with Portaferry.
Yeah, so he's looking at picking it again here very soon. So sometime soon this year, like, which is quite exciting. It was a great place to debut.
And I heard that I heard that there's going to be a show coming from NFPW in Green Island, and whenever the Green Island fans hear when you get announced from the Mighty G Town, you'll be one of the fan favourites there.
I like to think so, yeah. Hopefully.
How would you feel about that being in your hometown?
I would love that, like, you know, that'd be a dream come true as well, like, wouldn't it? You know, especially small wee town like Green Island, or wee village, whatever you would call it, just an estate, mate. It's just a wee estate.
That's your hometown then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, get the hometown crowd.
Yeah. That's where Chris is from too.
Chris Mercer?
Yeah. Just says me and him grew up just around the corner from each other.
We had Chris on here, Keaton?
Yeah.
3-4 months ago. It was a great interview.
It was
No, he's a
great,
great guy.
Yeah, it really was.
Then we used to wrestle in my backyard.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, when we were kids, when we were your age, Keaton, and younger.
I think that
You would
happened
think
in
you
a
would
lot
go
of
this far.
backyards with everybody, right?
Yeah.
has
He used to brass
Stevie
about the
Fee.
street and everything.
Yeah.
Stevie Fee
Until it
got
got too far.
Got too far.
With backyard
for
wrestling.
wrestling the Ultimate
Yeah,
Comeback.
that's a big
Secret
match that we'd
match.
love to have as well. Especially in
Max Ryback
NIPW, like
has
the match
never
with
been
Chris.
eliminated.
I think I told you,
Else,
Keaton, like Charlie and I, when we get Charlie on here, we'll talk about it. We used to stage fight before the wrestling. We would stage fights in places people didn't know us just to see if we could get over as, and
Yeah,
we'd fool everybody.
yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it was always fun.
Oh,
Indeed, Devon.
So now we got, looks like we have one more match on here, right, Keaton? On our
I think this
watch.
is the
Oh,
same
no,
match.
I'm sorry, it started over. Okay, so let's get out. I'll bring us back to the normal screen here. There we go. So yeah, that was an awesome footage that we've seen there. A lot of variety. We've seen a little bit of everything. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, a
So
few different
Especially
match types under the belt.
I'm sorry.
I have a few different match types under the belt.
Yeah. So what is when's the next show? Like what's coming up next?
Yeah, what's next? NIPW. There's going to be a show here in February.
February.
I think it might be the 6th or the 8th. I'm not 100% sure. Not
Okay, so
100% sure on that date, but
that's the next dojo card.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that there, like, but I know it is coming up like early next month.
Now have these things always sell out within like 24 hours. Is the
Yeah,
tickets been available yet or they haven't been
I
announced?
don't think they're announced yet either. No,
Okay.
they could be. They could be.
Couple
and
questions here, quick, and then I'll cut you loose again. Bring back Patty. Stevie, is that Diamond Chandel Cup beside you?
It is indeed. Da-da-da.
Yeah, so bring back Patty being observant. He noticed that.
Yeah,
And then Scenic Spot says, look at the size of these last couple of guys. And yeah, like I was thinking, like that guy, we've seen him before. At least I have that Saxon reminds me of Bruiser Brody.
yeah.
I don't know if he's as big as Brody, but he has the look.
Yeah. Oh, he was really, really good in the ring, like
Yeah.
really, really good. Both of
So
them, both of the big guys were like they were both brilliant. Stratty also like
yeah.
I know it's great seeing them guys coming over. Like Saxon had such a good match against John
yeah,
on that show.
yeah, it was excellent. So it was really good.
So Stevie, I got a question. You've been in singles and tag matches. Do you have a preference? Do you like
Yeah.
one more than the other?
No, not really, because they're both different. They're both very different, and you can do so many different things in tag team matches that you just can't do in a singles match.
Yeah. The double
They're great
teams
fun.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and the cheating and stuff you can do when you're working heat and stuff.
Right.
They're I do like tag team matches,
See, that's
but
something I'd like to see done more with the managers. When I notice, like, not to get on Mitch, but what gives managers heat is when they interfere or they
yeah,
cost somebody a match, right?
yeah,
And that's what the art of the manager. Heenan was the best at it. But if you do that kind of thing, that's managers need to do more of that. They need to be
yeah,
more relevant. They need to be especially a heel manager like
yeah.
Mitch. He needs to get in. He needs to get his hands dirty sometimes.
Oh yeah. I love the old school style managers. Like they were so cool.
Oh
Even like
yeah.
when you had multiple different clients and stuff as well. That was good back in the golden age.
The initial reason managers were a thing was because it was always, this is in the old days, but you would pair a manager with somebody who couldn't talk. Like
Yeah,
the manager was the mouthpiece so they could get over on the interviews and stuff. And that was the reason that they brought managers became a thing.
yeah,
But then when women came into it, with the females, that kind of took away from the managers. And you've seen a huge decrease in managers. They almost became obsolete for a while.
yeah. That's right.
But it's starting to come back again. And
Yeah,
I like seeing it. I think it's a good part of the whole business to have managers.
definitely, especially with a heel because they just pair so well together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And wrestling shows all over Britain are selling out so much right now. But after World of Sport died, British wrestling in general kind of died. There was nothing. There were small little companies, and now it's grew bigger with ICW. even companies in Northern Ireland like NIPW, but ICW, WAW, places like that, and wrestling show, and even WWE coming over to Britain. Wrestling shows are shelling out so quickly everywhere, especially in NIPW as well in Britain in general. What do you think's with this big boom?
It's just now that it's there. It hasn't, like with Northern Ireland, it hasn't really been there. They never really had even a variety of of wrestling. They used to do these stupid shows like years ago where like people used to come here dressed up as like Mankind and stuff and Kane, like, and they were nothing like them. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why now that there's actually some decent product out there, that people are going to get up off their arse and go out and watch it.
And in Northern Ireland, is it like NIPW and Titanic? Are those the two big ones
There's
in that area?
there's other ones as well, like so there is, and then you've got OTT from down south who do shows up in Northern Ireland and stuff as well. Like there's CAW, there is a few promotions like the LDN, they come over and they tour Northern Ireland too. There is now a variety of wrestling shows there, depending on what part of the country you're at.
Yeah.
And when you talk about NIPW being one of the leading companies in Northern Irish wrestling, who do you think are the unsung heroes behind NIPW's success?
Definitely Nathan. You know
He's
what
the
I mean?
nuts. He's the nuts and bolts of the whole thing, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
happen without him.
yeah. Some of the stuff he does that none of us even see.
Yeah, the behind the scenes, the promoting side of it. I mean, there's a lot of legwork there, and
100%.
to get these shows ready, to get the word out, and there's a lot of preparation that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And he's got a family. He just has had a daughter.
Yeah.
So he's got there's a lot on his plate.
100%.
So,
Yeah, definitely. And Mitch also too. Works incredibly hard, and
yeah,
the
so he
shows
does all
really
the
go ahead.
lights and the
Yeah,
video and everything, right? He's kind of
yeah,
behind all that.
100%. The shows really go ahead without the pair of them.
Yeah.
They're the most valuable assets to NIPW.
And I think also another part of NIPW's success is the storylines and the promos. And I love your promos as well. Like, you're very good at making them ones. Is it difficult to make?
Yeah, so it just depends. You just have to have that idea. You have to know where your story's going, what sort of story you're telling, stuff like that. It just depends. Some are easier than others. Sometimes the storylines just run smooth, and sometimes you have to try to doctor it, make it work.
Well, we just got in a big discussion on forward with promos. What do you like, Stevie? Do you like promos prepared? Like, do you like having a script prepared for you of what you're going to be saying, or you like to just shoot from the hip and do it on your own?
I like it's good to have a guidance. So it is like, so it would be more tricky for me to shoot from the hip because it's hard for me to speak without cursing. So it is, you know what I mean? So I'm constantly trying not to do that. So maybe it'd be more difficult for me to just grab a stick and shoot like. So I like to have some sort of guidance myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like I was telling those guys, we used to do not in the wrestling business, but in teleprompting, we would do hybrid teleprompters where you'd have bullet points, so you'd stay on track of what you got to get over. But then you would then fill it in.
Yeah. Because like whenever I'm doing promos, I forget the whole thing. So I kind of have to kind of fit wee bits in on the fly.
But that's all fine. But then when you do stuff in the ring, like a Canary will grab the mic, right? There's no script reading there. You have to shoot from the hip sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, you gotta feel them too, like as well. And then when you listen to them heckle you and stuff from the crowd too, as well, it's always good to be witty and have something quick at the tip of your tongue to fire back at them.
But some guys were like that. I think back in the day, like there were guys that could just do an interview like that. Like they could, and you needed to cut them loose. Roddy Piper and Heenan were like that. But then there were like Sergeant Slaughter who had to have the script because he just and there are guys that are really good with scripts. So it's like just depends on what it is, what fits the best for you. But nowadays when you do in-ring stuff, you almost got to be able to shoot.
Oh yeah.
And what other companies have you wrestled in, Stevie Fee?
So I've worked with NIPW and LDN. I think I've only worked with CAW over here and CTW in Portugal. Yeah, those are the only 4 companies I've worked with. Like I've done a few batches with CAW, so I do enjoy their shows. They're way up at the other side of Northern Ireland, so they are up in
I
their
know I
county.
know that Ben and
Leading in Northern Ireland.
Ben and Jordan said they had made some contacts with some guys from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
You ever run into guys like that and got some other contacts to maybe travel further?
yeah. Well, people messaging stuff online and all, and get in
Yeah.
contact with you too. Like you know.
I know it's hard, when they don't know you and stuff. It's always hard to get your foot in.
Yeah, but see,
But
I am quite busy. Like I am getting quite a lot of shows and quite a lot of reps in.
yeah,
So it's not like worrying me or anything. I'm not missing out. For to say, I've got plenty of work coming in.
And when we've seen you on LDN and CAW and stuff, you always have different kinds of characters. What's your favorite character to portray?
Well, it's always the smick. It just depends on how people greet you. Whenever I come out in NIPW, they all go mad for me. And they all welcome me with
Keaton
one.
was trying to explain this to me. So Smick is like tells it like it is, doesn't sugarcoat anything. Is that how it is?
I'm trying to think what the American
It's really
version would
hard to
be.
explain.
It'd be hard to explain. Like, uh, I think
Is it like
you ever see LEG in the house?
no?
Yeah, I see. I don't know. It would be too
Is
hard to
that
explain.
is it kind of a sense of arrogance?
Nah,
No,
uh,
confidence.
you could say that. Like, I don't know. It's just like a name for like younger people, younger lads that get up to some mischief. You know what I mean? They call them chavs over in England.
Jobs.
Yeah, if that's any use to you, like
I'm just googling.
that's what they call
What
me whenever I go over there. Like, they'll call me a chav whenever I come out and stuff.
Sure.
It gets me
I'm
heat that way.
researching. I'm researching what the definition of a smick is. It says a young lower class person typified by brash and loudish behaviour.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Now, Darren's kind of clarifying this. He says, Crusher, do you remember? I think he meant Beavis and Butthead, and I do. And he says, they are Smicks. So, okay. So I get it then. Yeah, who doesn't remember Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I can see what they're saying.
And what does 2025 hold for the ultimate smick?
Who knows? Who knows? Don't know
Do you-
what could it be. There's a lot of
well,
cool stuff coming up.
I mean, I understand there's some maybe tag titles coming in the picture. So, like, is there any belts you kind of like can have your eye on for your character?
Don't know. Well, I'm not. I want all the belts, like you know. But I'm not willing to stab a mate in the back for one, like
Right.
you know.
Well, like I said, we were talking about it kind of a little bit earlier, but there were guys, and I imagine they still are guys that when you're working for money would take half the pay if they could be the champion.
Yeah.
And then there are other guys that would be like, and that's what Heenan's advice always was is, if you're in this for anything other than money, this is the mentality back in the day. If you're in this for anything other than money, you're a fool. So it's
Yeah.
like, who cares if you're the champion? As long if you're going to make twice as much. Yeah. But there were guys that would take pay cuts just to get a belt. Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I know.
It's not an old man sport. You don't really get a lot of time on it.
No.
You know what I mean? So you gotta
And the
be in
thing
it for the
is,
money.
and the thing that, and you probably know this, Stevie, you've been to a few different promotions. The other thing you need to people, young new wrestlers starting out need to understand is, the booker has the final say here. If he says that you're going to put so and so over, that's the way it goes. Unless it's your show.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys like try to argue or give their suggestions. That's another thing that new wrestlers should never do. Don't suggest, and unless you're asked of your opinion, just do what they're telling you to do. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
Be there.
nobody
Be
wants
reliable.
nobody wants unsolicited. We call it unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
And Darmite has another question there, doesn't he?
Yeah. He says, actually, did I miss? I missed this one. There's two of them. So Darren says, what does the OG stand for in the Insta profile, Stevie? Like your OG.
That's original Instagram, just.
Oh, we thought it meant, what did you think it was, Keaton?
Original goat.
Original goat, OG.
Well, here, it's up to whatever you want it to be, like, you know what I mean? The OG.
You know, my
We
fine
get that in
feathered,
shirt.
and I give Ricky a hard time on our characters, but he knows, I think, the most of them. But he always refers himself as the OG BIRD, right?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it was something to do with that, like OG, you know?
Yeah. Just I don't know. I had to put something in because it wouldn't let me use Stevie Fee.
Yeah, right. Because Instagram, when it's taken, you got to figure something out.
Somebody stole my name.
Darren also says, make hay while the sun shines, mate. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
So yeah, we're all caught up in comments. Keaton, did we get through all your questions, or do you have more still?
I just have one last question. So, what's the best piece of advice you could give a young trainee wrestler only starting out?
Just work hard, mate. Just keep your head down, work hard, and listen to what your coach is telling you, and apply it. It's it's simple enough, mate. Be disciplined on yourself. You know what I mean? Give it your all.
And I always tell Keaton, gain confidence with what you're doing.
Yeah, and see if you don't feel confident, pretend to be confident. You know what I mean?
Act as if.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't take it till you make it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're the champion. You're the champion of the organization.
100%. Like I says, like for a long time, I was dreading going into training sessions, but I was going in and I was training as if I wasn't, as if I was looking forward to it, as if I was loving it. You know what I mean? And I was grueling and I was hating it, and I wanted to tap out and I wanted to quit and I wanted to give up. But you can't. You know what I mean? You got to keep your head down and just keep pushing through, because it works out pretty well in the end anyway. You know what I mean? Hard work pays off. You know, and you get back what you put in.
And you all know this because you've done it enough. There's an inner fire that when you're in this business that will never go out, and that's what drives you. And
oh yeah,
that's the inner desire to want to make it in this business.
Yeah.
And that is your fuel. That's your pilot light that doesn't go out. And you always got to go back to that.
Yeah, that's it. Always remember that first time you stepped foot into the ring, how you felt, how excited you were. You know what I mean? You hadn't felt how rough the business was. You know what I mean? You haven't felt the worst of it yet. You were so excited. Just always try to keep that sort of passion. Don't let it get beat out of you.
Absolutely. Keaton, are you frozen? Okay, you're there. He just looked like he was like I didn't know if his screen froze up on him or not.
No,
he's
not
there.
frozen yet.
He's mesmerized by all the advice he just got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's been a fascinating interview so far. And Stevie, is there anything we didn't get to that you wanted to say?
Don't know. I don't want to say too much. You know.
Other than to be on the lookout for Stevie in 2025, who knows what the future may bring, right?
Definitely keep me on your radar, like, because who knows what's coming. I don't even know.
All right.
Should be exciting. It should be good fun this year, so it should.
All right, and it sounds like the first week of February. Sounds like the next show at the dojo. And what do you have any idea? Have you heard any dates as far as when the next show out of the dojo? I know Nate's got some plans.
I think March is the plan.
March.
I think March. Which will be a bigger venue. So hopefully draw the bigger crowd then.
Sure.
Which we get more noise in the place.
Do you guys? Is that always exciting for you guys to go to these little bit bigger venue shows? Is it we're
Yeah.
getting out of the dojo here. We're gonna actually do something a little bit more
Oh yeah,
intense.
100%. Yeah, well, whenever I'm touring around Northern Ireland and stuff, I've been doing a lot of like town halls and stuff like that there, and theatres and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I've already got that kind of taste for that sort of atmosphere. You know, and
That's
it is different.
that is one thing I've noticed though over there in Europe. You guys do a lot of theater kind of settings. They don't see that so much here.
No,
Yeah, what they do here is they'll just get armories or school gyms and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that for their bigger shows, community
probably
centers.
probably money problem. You know,
Yeah, or just not having as many places, right?
yeah, that's
That they
true.
can actually get into. But that's cool. I always like seeing the ring on the stage, and you have all the s- seating that goes up. It's
Yeah,
probably a
yeah,
cool
it's
thing.
awesome. Like it
Yeah.
is. It's cool. It's good fun. Like
And it's interesting when you have a show like that because you have your audience on one side, right? So it's
yeah,
like you don't have the 360.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
You know, but
very
then
interesting
it's kind
setup.
of it's okay because you know where they are, so you can kind of work to them.
Sure. Yeah, it gives you almost an advantage in a way.
Yeah, it kind of does. Like yeah, they are good
Yeah.
fun. With
All right. Well, Stevie, I want to thank you. We're kind of at our end of our show here. We always do about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
So thanks for joining us. It was great.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, it was really good having you here, and fascinating interview.
Yeah,
What can we say?
awesome.
So, and I'm just glad to be back. And I had to take a break from Keaton was running on his own here for a while. We had some
Yeah, that's
hiccups, but
right.
I
It's
think
in that.
I think we got it all ironed out now. I think Keaton's kind of in control. He knows what he's doing. In fact,
Yeah.
Keaton, as we let Stevie go, I'll let you take us to the what's next screen, and because Keaton has to get used to doing this on his own. So,
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
no pressure.
All right,
thanks again,
gentlemen.
Stevie. Thanks
Yes, thank
again.
you,
You.
folks. I'll see you later. Cheers, lads. Thanks.
And as for the next Kayfabe with Keaton, we have coming up, in my opinion, the greatest British wrestler of all time, who has trained the likes of William Regal, Saxon Huxley, who we've seen on NIPW, and Marty Jones, the number one Marty Jones, he calls himself, who runs now, before he used to be World Sport Wrestling legend, 7-time British. Sorry, 7-time light heavyweight British world champion on World of Sport Wrestling. So he's trained the likes of William Regal, Saxon Huxley, WWE stars like Ridge Holland. He's an absolute legend in professional wrestling, and he runs his own wrestling company now called Squared Circle Pro Wrestling, where he trains the future of wrestling. And right now, he's still planning on getting into the ring, and and it's going to be great to have him on to share some of his stories. He's wrestled the likes of Andre the Giant, and he's very well experienced in wrestling, so it'll be good to hear his wrestling stories.
I like I said, I've heard some stories from Ricky on his experience with them, and he always talks highly of them. Um, and so I'm just going to be very fascinated to meet him as well. You've met him before, right, Keaton,
Yeah, I've interviewed him on my own channel.
on your own channel and stuff. So yeah, so I have, it'll be the first for me, but it's a real legend here coming on next week, and this should be a fascinating interview. And that's going to be a week from today, right, Keaton?
Yeah, a week from today.
Yeah, so that'll be great. And then what we also have coming up then on our other shows, next Thursday, Dixie Dave will be back with me on Rewind, and we're going to go back to studio taping 111 from the dry dock. It's funny, Keaton. I love this stuff when we're more polished here. The later stuff. But our fans, they want to see us in the studio. They want to see us when we're young kids, in socks and stuff, and not, ready for this big time. I don't know why that is, but
Neither do I.
they love seeing. Well, I guess I do. They've told me enough. They love seeing how we started, knowing what we got to. So that's really what it is. But yeah, this will be a good show though. Dixie Dave. In fact, I just heard from Dave the other day. He called me and said, "Am I coming on this week or next week?" He didn't know if we were going this week or next week. I said, "No, it's gonna be next week, Dave." Too many pile drivers for Dixie Dave. But yeah, so that'll be a fun one, January 9th, and looking forward to that. And then our next forward show in 2 weeks, me and Canary Kid, aka Ricky Henry. We've got Daryl Becker from Primo's Premier Pro Wrestling out of Colorado. we had him on before, and we have him coming on again. And I don't know if he's going to have some of the juniors with him again, like he did last time. Maybe, maybe not, but definitely him. And I'm looking forward to getting an update on their junior training program, see where they're at. They last time I talked to them, they were on the verge of maybe doing some shows with the juniors. So I'm kind of curious if that's happened. It might not have yet. Maybe they're not ready for it, but we'll find all that out.
I'll be
So
watching.
yeah, it should be a good show. And it's going to be a little later though, if you notice. It's 11 p.m. Ireland time on this one because Daryl's got a 9 to 5 job and he won't be able to get on until about 11:30 your time. So it's going to start out with the Crusher Crossen Canary show like we do, and we always make it entertaining that way, as you know. The coward, I like to call him, the cowardly kid. I have so many names for him. And he he has names for me. He made me laugh. I had to bite my bottom lip, Keaton, on that last show because I was about to lose it because he could. If it's one thing Canary can do, he can make us laugh, right? He's so good at that. When he was gonna,
Yeah.
when I mentioned, I said if I come down IPW, maybe I'll get a belt in that league too. And he's like, the only belt you're gonna get is the belt off my trousers, whooping your ass. I damn near lost it on that one, but yeah. So it'll be fun. Ricky and I'll make it entertaining until Daryl gets in, and then we'll switch gear and we'll have a good interview. So it should be fun. So yeah. So I don't know. Do we have a stream with just me and you? I think we do. Is
Yeah,
this
I
one?
would do.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is a great show, a great interview. This is a fantastic show, Keaton. Another great one.
Yeah, this one was very fascinating. Especially someone like Stevie Fee, who I've known his uncle for a while, from interviewing him, and he's such a nice guy, same as his uncle, and it seems like the Stevie Fee family of wrestlers is going to go strong.
Sure. Yeah, and he's got a good head on his shoulder, good attitude. He gets it. He understands the business at this point. He knows how it's like for instance on Forward, Ricky and I, you would think we hate each other. It couldn't be anything more than the opposite. We're putting on a performance, we're putting on a show for you guys, right? And it's the same thing in the wrestling business. It's not about wins. It's not about losses. It's not any of that. That has nothing to do with it. But like I said, though, guys do get frustrated sometimes and they get caught up in their character because they're thinking of their character and they're thinking, well, man, I keep losing matches. What's going on here? No, I'm burying my character. Well, maybe you're not burying your character, maybe in your eyes, but whoever's booking the show, whether that's Nathan or whatever, they have a plan and there's a method to their madness. And you got to remember that. It's like I've always said, if Canary and Crusher Crossen never happened and it happened over there and I had to come over there, with my big reputation at hand and 5-time champion and all this and that, if Nathan looks at me and says, you're putting the kid over, that's how it goes. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished in this business. When you work for somebody else, and this is just advice to new people, when you go to a different territory or whatever, you do what they tell you to, right? You don't worry about your image or your gimmick, right? So that's what I always like to stress that with new wrestlers because I've seen it too many times. Even in our own show, kids would come in and they don't understand. They get caught up in their character. So, yeah. But no, it's fun. It's I'm looking forward to all these future shows. Marty Jones, you got coming up in a week. Dave and I will be back with Rewind on Thursday at our regular time. And and I want to mention this. I told you privately, Keaton, but Jamie McParland, the Irish Terror, the original Irish wrestler here, right? For the NWF. At least he thinks he is. McParland.
Yeah.
Jamie McParland, aka the Irish Terror, he stumbled across some of his old footage from a CWF league that he started. This was a sister league to the NWF that he was starting, and it's a little primitive, but he's going to send it to me, and I'm going to restore it. We're going to do a special watch along with Jamie on that. We'll show it. It'll be fun to see that again.
Yeah.
I mean, just somebody else other than me that was doing trying to get started with it. You know, I think I told you the story, Keaton, but Jamie, I had the wrestling ring. I could have said, Jamie, you can use it. But I didn't. I was being kind of tough love, tough parent love with him. I was like, I want you to learn what I learned. And the only way you're going to learn what I learned is to do it yourself. Start it yourself, ground up. So I kind of made him do it that way. I wanted him to really take ownership of it. And he thanks me for that because it did. But that was my method. That was my thinking. Now, if I could do it again, Keaton, I would say, yeah, you can use the ring. I mean, what am I thinking here? But I just wanted to,
And in the end, did you let him use the ring?
No, it never really got that far because what happened was we did our final armory card that I promoted, and then I was approached by Ernie Ellis, who's still in the business. Yeah, he still promotes indie wrestling in Minnesota. Yeah, Dirty Ernie. He approached me and asked if I would be interested in just selling the promotion to him and let him take it from there because he knew I was in a situation that I didn't have a place to go with it. So I made a deal. And
how long did that last for with Ernie?
Oh, I stayed on quite a bit because I was in charge of the television. So I was doing all our cable programming and all that. I was taking care of the time slots. That was my time slot. So, it was the agreement. There was some stipulations I had to that sale. One was you're not changing the name; it's going to stay NWF, and we're going to keep the kids on as well, the juniors. And he stayed true to all that. So it was good. The only reason I stepped away from it, Keaton, is because I got to a point where my dad wanted me to go back to college. He wanted me to get my degree. And so my life was going into a different direction. And wrestling was not part of that future at the time in my dad's eyes. And so even though I deep down wanted to keep doing wrestling, my dad's influence kind of took over.
Yeah.
He was so afraid I was going to get hurt. It was a big man's game back then. I was a small guy. We had guys, over 200 pounds easily as regulars, and here I am in the mix, right? So he just didn't want me to he was always afraid, especially when I started working with Shark. He's like, you're going to get hurt in his eyes. So, but yeah, no, if I had it my way, I would have kept wrestling.
Yeah.
That's enough of me. We already had that show last week.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of feel like I'm Ricky. It's all about me, right? I love needling him. All right. So we got our shows coming up. Thursday, it's going to be me and Dixie Dave. Sunday, it'll be me and Rick. It'll be me and Keaton. And then a week from next Friday, it'll be me and Ricky again with Forward. So it should be good.
It'll be good.
So, Wrestling Revolution. I'm Crusher Crossen. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And we will see you the next time we're on live.